Hello. So today we're going to cover, welcome to Blue Girls Video Podcast. Today we're going to cover dreams in January of February 2014, and then possibly March of 2014. So I can do up to 30 minutes. And we have our special guest, Blue, the dog. So let's get started here. So the first dream for February 2014 is islands. There was a woman helping me. Something about islands. I was thinking of Boston and New York. Let's see here. Replacement. Misdemeanor. A woman was on the bus and got off to get a big gulp pop. The area doesn't look familiar to me. There was a brown dresser up against the wall that was removed. So a woman asked a man to replace a brown dresser with a white yellowish one. So yes, this is symbolic. I don't really know what the replacement was about. It's just symbolic from switching from a brown dresser to a white yellowish one. So something was replaced. I don't know what it was. The crazy game. I asked my brother if he wanted to play the crazy game. He could go to California and marry his former boyfriend. There was an old-fashioned open purse. A woman wanted to talk to this woman first before she decided upon measures against her. She was in the back of the buildings. There was an old-fashioned computer. I should write down my journal entries before I enter them. Okay, so I had another dream. It was in the last video about apartments, and this one guy was, it said 0 for my name, and then it said 559, so it was like they were just going to move me to a different apartment. So I think this might be the same apartment complex. I'm not sure, but then again, it didn't take place in Nevada. It took place in California. So I think that this woman wanted to meet with me to kind of size me up to see. She was in the back of the building, but she just wanted to meet with me. And I think it was about an apartment. Dog here. Okay. So now I have to go all the way down to AZ. There was something physically wrong with the dog. One guy thought the other guy was bullshitting him. There is some small town in AZ, a couple of Mexican guys, and it's 9:37 a.m. So, sometimes when I get dreams, if there's a number, it could be 9:37 a.m., it could be $937. Yeah, there was some small town in Arizona. I don't know what that was. So it could be symbolic, there's something physically wrong with a dog. It could be, me, that there's something physically wrong. So they want to move me to Arizona, to some small town. I'm not sure, but I don't know why they would want to do that with a small town in Arizona, because the medical isn't good down there. So anyway, so that's the dream. Stopping by. Someone stopped by. It looks like S and his daughter S. Someone brought me a white kitten. Someone's face is kind of reddish from the water. My youngest brother mentioned California. Okay, so here again, my youngest brother is mentioning California. So somebody was supposed to, okay, so whoever was supposed to stop by, I know who it is because I have the initials. It's a friend of mine and his daughter. And to me, when I think of, because I've had dreams of black kittens, which to me is bad luck. I have owned a black kitten before, a male, short hair. But when it says white, to me, it's positive. It's like a blessing or whatever. So I don't know. There was something about something wrong with the water, and my face was someone's face or somebody's face was reddish from the water, and so when I did eventually end up in this apartment complex in the Southwest, I did kind of like lose hair, not like a lot, but I didn't kind of notice that. So I don't know. And my face turned red, didn't turn red, so I don't know what that was about. Maybe there was just something wrong with the water. Bluffing. I wanted to go somewhere and mentioned it to a friend who thought I was bluffing. Yeah, so I think that I was saying, okay, I want to go here, but and then I don't remember what it was. It could have been Arizona, and then somebody thought I was bluffing about going there. Okay, so the next one is wrong bus. I was on a bus going to Renton to visit Jimi Hendrix's gravesite. The woman said it was the right bus. It was an express bus not going to Renton, but on the freeway. So I asked the bus driver to stop the bus before the highway, and he did. I didn't know where I was going. Okay, so symbolically, I got on the wrong bus, the wrong opportunity. But I did visit, I do have actually a picture of it, of me at Renton, Washington. I visited Jimi Hendrix's gravesite, but now they moved it. So I'm not for sure exact. I know it's still in Washington, but they moved all of that, and I think it's like, they have a big thing over it. I don't know, but they moved it. And before it was just like a flat, with his name and a guitar. So anyway, yeah. So the next dream is, I'm gonna go backwards here. Wrong bus, and then disabled. An African American in a wheelchair came up to me, D.D. Douglas. He told me to let me know if anyone messes with me when I get back there. So I'm thinking that it might have been a former residence or somewhere else. I'm thinking in the dream that it was a Pacific Northwest. I'm not sure. Let's see here. The date is 2014. Yes, as far as I can remember, I was in the Pacific Northwest at the time of the dream. So I don't know who a DD or Douglas was. I never met him. So, well, and the African American was in a wheelchair. So I think that he's the one who told me that, if there's any problems, you let me know. Too small. In this dream, I saw my bedroom door opening. There was a credit. I didn't know where to send an item. Mail lettering was too small. Yeah, I don't remember this dream. Sometimes these dreams I don't remember, and then sometimes I remember very vividly. It's kind of strange. Girl on bike. This girl was on a bike and went in a circular direction at a gas station. She stopped to get a pop for 50 cents, 33. I was talking to a niece. Last time I saw her was about 10 years ago, 26. My brother was going to bring all his stuff on a boat. It's better than being homeless. Okay, so, yeah, so there was this girl who had a bike. She's younger than me. And so she was going in a circular direction, like in a gas station. She was kind of riding around. And she stopped to buy a pop for 50 cents. Well, that was 2014. Maybe there was pop back then, but for 50 cents. But, it could be, again, with the numbers, 50%. 33, I'm not for sure what that would be about. And so here's another. I was talking to my niece, and the last time I saw her was 10 years ago now. But now when I eventually saw her, it was probably, I don't know, maybe 20, a little less than that. Yeah, about 20 almost. So my youngest brother was going to bring all of his stuff on a boat, and he thought it was better than being homeless. So he kind of lives kind of a vagabond. He kind of goes all over the place. Not all over the place, but he likes the South. So anyway, this was 2014. So let's see here. So I have to get back to, I don't like it when it does this. It's kind of hard to get back to the original writing. Alrighty, bluffing, wrong bus. Okay, so let's just try this again. So, to continue in February 2014, girls and college kids. Two white girls said they were from New York. I thought aggressive. I prefer laid back. There were two other girls that were mocking me. One being a mother figure. No, there was a large round container filled with Mountain Dew for $5. I told the Mexican woman that someone didn't know how to do the taxes at 9.5%. I don't think it's going to work out. There was a piece of paper with jotting of a man's notes. That is his business. Excuse me. There was a room full of college kids sleeping. So I do remember the white girls. They were very skinny. They were very skinny girls in their 20s, and they were from New York. And they were aggressive, or I thought they were aggressive, and I was like, well, I prefer laid back because, this dream took place in the Pacific Northwest, and they are laid back there. So I guess they were mocking me. I don't know why they were mocking me, and I don't know why they would be in if they're from New York, I don't know why they would be in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know. But then I guess there was another woman who was a mother figure, and she was kind of, I don't know. So whatever. Someone didn't know how to do the taxes. I told this Mexican woman that someone didn't know how to do the taxes, and I didn't think it was going to work out. I remember a man. He had just like a little slice of paper, not a full piece of paper, and he was jotting like down notes in pencil. I don't know what the notes were about, but I just remember seeing the notes like on a desk. And I don't remember the college kids sleeping. I don't remember that at all. Okay, so the next one I'm trying to get is past success. There is an African American man sitting behind a counter. I didn't mention my memory issue. A young white kid goes in around him. I try to call my cousin. I have the number written down, area code 720-316. My cousin and I were separated after I came out of a house. She didn't want to hear it. I used to love my job when I worked in New Mexico. In Arizona, I got a job in an apartment within a couple of months. Okay, so I don't know who this African American man was. I don't know why I would try to call my cousin either. And the area code was 720. She still has the same number. I don't know what the 316, that could have been $316. So whatever, my cousin, it could have been my cousin's name or somebody who physically resembled her. So whatever, it sounds like I went and I saw this African American guy, and then my cousin and I were separated. She didn't want to hear it. I don't know what she didn't want to hear. So in real life, I did have a job in New Mexico, and I used to love my job. I mean, I looked forward to going to work. But then I had some physical issues that kind of interfered with that. And it says in Arizona, I got a job in an apartment within a couple of months. That is true. These work things were a very long time ago, but in Arizona, I stayed at a hotel for like a month and a half, and then I got a place, and I got a job. So vacant building. There was a huge vacant building where my relatives and other people were walking around in the upstairs. The pregnant woman would not allow me to come inside until after 9:30 p.m. I had brand new books and was waiting at a bus stop bench. So, yeah, I don't really remember this. I think the vacant building, it was probably an apartment complex, and some pregnant woman didn't want me to come in until after 9:30. It could have been September 30th. That's what I'm thinking. So the next one is conversation about music. This is still February of 2014. At my job, my coworkers were gathered, sitting in chairs in a circle. A supervisor wanted a coworker to get him something. There was a discussion of the lead singer of the band, Jim Morrison of the Doors. One mentioned that he was an alcoholic, among other things. One young adult mentioned he was like Jim, and that they were parts of his personality that people were not aware of. One young adult wanted to get a biography book on him, while I mentioned that I had the movie The Doors. I mentioned Broadway, not the street, but Broadway as in New York. So, yeah, I don't know. There was all these, I think, coworkers that were sitting in a chair in a circular. So I don't know why they were discussing Jim Morrison of the Doors, but they were. And so someone was saying he was an alcoholic, among other things. And so I guess that one young adult mentioned he was like Jim or whatever. So I do remember, like in the dream, people sitting around in a circle. I do remember mentioning, the Jim or whatever, Morrison. But I don't know why we were having that discussion. And then, and I did mention that I do remember saying that I have the movie The Doors, and I do. And then strangely enough, I a couple days later, or maybe a week later in real life, I saw a guy who had kind of a suede jacket like Jim Morrison, like in his movie. And I remember thinking that. I said, oh, that jacket's kind of like Jim Morrison's, And I'm not for sure what this is about. I mentioned Broadway, not the street, but Broadway as in New York. I don't know what that was about. I don't know what that would have to do with anything in the dream. Eagle. I was walking with an older disabled man with black hair. It was sunny outside when I saw my bus leave without me. I yelled, no! I was contemplating going to someplace in Alaska with eagles. The girl and I were thinking about getting a hotel together with a double bed for $100 using a card, then paying in cash when arrived at hotel. There was a guy that was putting her down and calling her names. I mentioned one of those guys I was going to send a postcard. It was late at night, 3:30 a.m., Grays Harbor. Okay, so yeah, I remember that me and this one girl, we were going to go to Alaska together. We were talking about it. And I don't know, with eagles, I don't know. I mean, of course, in Alaska, there's eagles everywhere. So I'm not for sure. It was maybe symbolic or something. I don't know. So we would just get like a hotel together, whatever. And then whatever I would just pay when I got there. So there was some guy who was putting me down or whatever and calling me names. And I was like, oh, one of those guys. So he's kind of judging me. And so something was late. It's 3:30, so I'm thinking March 30th. And Grays Harbor it's in Washington, the state of Washington. So I don't know if this guy was from Grays Harbor or what. I'm not sure. 3:58. I was walking with this older guy. I just missed the bus 3:58 that I was trying to catch. It has been a long while since I have been to Florida. Let me know when or if a room opens up. So I'm thinking 3:58. It's probably, an amount for rent, a discounted whatever. I'm not sure. I don't know what else it could be, or it could be for a deposit for a place. Yeah, so either one of those, I think that's what it is. And then, so let's see here. So the next one is Joshua Tree. A maintenance man was knocking gently on my door. I told him to say maintenance so that I know it's him. I was in my pajamas and went to go throw on a matching blue jogging suit. Someone was driving a car in the desert. It looks like Joshua Tree, different kind of desert than I have lived. Man went to go check on some sea lion or otters in a tub. So Yeah, so for maintenance, whatever, if somebody knocks on your door, you don't have to answer it. I mean, if they don't announce who it is. So they are supposed to like say it's maintenance, because I won't answer the door. Um, and unless they say it's whatever, manager, maintenance, whatever. Um, so so I think I mentioned that. So I don't know. That took place in the Pacific Northwest, and I don't know what this thing was about Joshua Tree, and I don't know who was driving the car, and I don't know if my friend was around either. And some guy, he had like this. I don't know why he had this. He had like some kind of sea otter. He had it as a pet, in his in like a tub, like a big huge like round tub in his basement. So I don't know what he was doing with that, but anyway, that's what he had down there. Getting out of the way. There was a large plastic container with a handle that I was debating on whether to get for $10. A couple of women didn't have anything else better to do, so they were trying on spring jackets. My brother was complaining about a couple of pieces of toast that I threw away in the garbage. There were large black beetles that were gathering in a corner of the window. I didn't know how the beetles were entering the apartment. This bug had a spring and was bouncing up and down coming towards me, so I dodged it. Okay. Well, it looks like we're going to just be able to do February because I can't do March at all. There's not enough time. So I don't know what this plastic container was and whatever. There were some women trying on spring jackets. So yes, my brother was complaining about a couple of toasts I threw away in the garbage, which really doesn't make any sense because I think it was burnt toast. This is the older one. And yeah, so I don't know. He has his current place, not in like this other one, but black beetles. He never really had any issues with black beetles. Um, I don't know how they were getting in. And I've had dreams where something like a worm, like Jimmy Cricket or whatever, is like bouncing up and down, bouncing up and down. And so this time it was different. That was kind of like not the head, not the tail kind of dream. I think that was the name of it. This one is like dodging something. So I dodged something, whatever it was. I don't know. Women helping me. These women agreed to help me. If the forms I sent them were filled out properly, I told this woman who, when I was 18, I was at whatever, and then another thing, and then my own place. I had a backpack that had a bathing suit and days supply of clothing. I went to get a pop at the pop machine. This guy offered to pay for the pop, root beer instead of Mountain Dew. There was change, nickels. There was a group of children across from me, possibly a daycare or day school. Okay, so I was telling this woman agreed to help me if I filled out the form properly or correct. And I was telling her in my youth, like, well, like early 20s, not even early 20s, 18, 19, the process of getting my own apartment. So it sounds like I just went to this place for a day. So basically, instead of being offered Mountain Dew, the woman offered me root beers. So it was some kind of a different thing that was offered to me. So it was across from a daycare or day school, and I've had there was an opportunity for me to, and I think it's the same organization. Later, I mean, this is many years later, of a daycare that was kind of right across the street. So, and that didn't come to pass. Okay, so there's one more, and that is called Blown Glass. To get this in. Okay. blown glass. I was possibly at a high school with my cousin or someone else. We were at a store and I picked up a blown glass item for $47. It was too expensive, so I decided not to get it. Sometimes I have these dreams and I have no reason why. I have no idea why I'm having them. But that's the dream. Okay, so this is the end of Blue Girls video podcast, whatever you have it. It's basically documented dreams for, I don't know, 10, 12 years. And so this is February of 2014. And thank you for watching.